Oxygen supply just failed in part of the ISS, but everyone is safe so far.
Here's a summary of the article.
The oxygen supply system has failed in a module on the Russian segment of the International Space Station, but the crew is in no danger, Russian space agency Roscosmos said Thursday. The oxygen supply system on the Zvezda module on the orbital lab failed late on Wednesday, but a second system on the American segment is operating normally, a Roscosmos spokesperson told AFP. Nothing threatens the security of the crew and the ISS, said the spokesperson, adding this repair work to fix the issue would be carried out on Thursday. The issue arose after 3 new crew, 2 Russian cosmonauts and an American astronaut, reached the ISS on Wednesday to bring the number of current crew on board to 6. The problem is the latest incident on the ISS, whose first module was launched over 2 decades ago in 1998 after the crew in August detected an air leak on board. The crew believe that they have now found the source of the leak. Quoted by the RIA Novosti news agency, veteran Russian cosmonaut Gennady Padalka said that the Russian equipment aboard the ISS was well past its use-by date. All modules of the Russian segment are exhausted, said Padalka, who holds the world record for most days spent in space.
This post received a score of 87,000, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I was at a panel listening to an astronaut talk and he said something I will never forget. When something breaks in space, you have the rest of your life to fix it. Edit, grammar.
We say the same thing in cave diving. Cave diving is not a real thing. Cave diving is not real. Cave diving isn't real. There. Maybe I'll still be able to sleep.
Cave diver I know tells a story about a diver who found a snapped-off cord floating in a soot-filled cave, meaning his light was useless. Horrifying because it means someone got lost. So he starts following it, figuring it will lead to a body. Nope. Leads to the surface. Then he looks down and realizes his cord is cut. He found his own cord, randomly, in a soot-filled flooded cave.
I have basic dive certification. It's stories like this why I will never go beyond that. Cave diving is like base jumping. If you do it, you personally know someone who has died doing it. Edit, I was not comparing the death of base jumping and cave diving. Base jumping would be a better death, faster. I was simply saying the death risk was comparable.
Is wreck diving as bad? I wanna do that.
It's all about egress to the surface. If you don't penetrate the wreck, you're good. If you do, it's as bad as cave diving.
Can you elaborate on this? I'm unfamiliar with wreck diving, and it sounds spooky.
When you dive wrecks you can choose to enter them, which is called penetration. As soon as you do, you're in what's called an overhead environment, meaning you can't go straight up to the surface. Because of that, you need extra certifications and you always take certain precautions, like carrying a light and a backup light, and using a line that you tie off outside the wreck so you can always follow it back out. Small wrecks with lots of egress points aren't so scary, but the further in you go, the more trained you should be.
That's great. All those times instructors took teenage and 20-year-old me through deep wrecks in Florida as if it was nothing. I hate some instructors.
That's why there's always redundancy. Even leaks have happened and there wasn't a major risk. Except for the collision of the Progress with Mir, but still nothing happened that time.
Greater than even leaks have happened and there wasn't a major risk. To be clear, incidentally, the ISS is actually leaking all the time. Our seals and such are really good, but they aren't perfect and there's not really any way to make them perfect. This doesn't mean they don't try and minimize leaking, but that the reality is you never stop leaking at least a little.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.